Hey, what's up, you guys? It's me, Lexi, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am serving 90s snowboarder realness in this windbreaker. Like, look at this. Not gonna lie, I like it, and I'm here for it. Give me a sec. But anyway, hello there. If you are new to my channel, hello, I'm Lexi. I don't want to give some long-winded intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video. This is the story of the time I met an SNL star by accident, which is what makes the story even more fun, even more interesting. There are a lot of twists and turns in this story, so you have to bear with me. Everything I mention in this story is relevant to the end of the story, so just be patient. I promise you guys, it's worth it. So, this story takes place back when I was a senior in high school in 2017, but don't click off, okay? It's not gross, it's actually very wholesome, okay? But my senior year of high school, I was president of this club, and it was called the Connecticut Youth Forum. I was president of my school's division. Basically, this club was a meeting where teenagers could talk about things that were going on in their lives, and it was a safe space, it was a judgment-free zone, and nothing that was said in the room was allowed to be repeated. So people would talk about like racism and bullying and peer pressure, you know, stuff like that. Each meeting had a different topic. And what was cool about this club was it wasn't just your school talking about these issues, it was like other schools across the state talking about these issues. So like once a month there was a meeting and it was hosted by one school. And I think there was like 15 schools that participated in this. So let's say one school was hosting, the other 14 would go to that school. They provided snacks like pizza, stuff like that. So it was a win-win. Now, the Connecticut Youth Forum is actually the sister organization of the Connecticut Forum. Now, I promise this is not an ad, but let me just tell you about this amazing organization really quick. The Connecticut Forum is a nonprofit organization that does educational panels ranging on a wide variety of topics, from music to journalism to science to politics. Some of their past guest panelists included Michelle Obama, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Grammy Award-winning musician Nile Rodgers, okay? The guy who made this song. And this song. Truth be told, I am so tight I didn't get to go to that one because I wasn't invited, and usually either you get invited or you have to pay for tickets, and tickets are like $200 to $400 depending on who the guest panelist is. But anyway, because I was president of my school's CT Youth Forum, I finally got invited to a Connecticut Forum event, and this SNL star was on the panel. You see where I'm going with it? You get it now, okay? It's connecting, it's clicking. They were doing a panel that had something to do with like comedians, and all right, it's a guy. It was him, it was Tignataro, and it was Mark Maron. So I went to this panel with my friend Khalil, who I have not seen since graduation, but like if you happen to come across this video, hi Khalil. But Khalil was invited because he was really into editing and like TV production, so he made a deal to like edit the press conference that happened before the actual panel. And then our TV production teacher, Mr. Gooden, shout out Mr. Gooden, and Mr. Gooden's girlfriend went too, but only me and Khalil went to the press conference. So at the press conference, there was a lot of journalists and like people from news stations, you know, basically being like, oh, over here I have a question, oh, over here I have a question. They were also taking pictures of the mystery SNL star and Tignataro and Mark Maron, so they had pictures for like their little news articles. Now, me and Khalil, we were all the way in the back because we didn't want to be in the way. Like we weren't even really, you know, supposed to be there because we weren't taking place in the press conference. Like Khalil was just recording the press conference, so we were all the way in the back. And even though we were in the back, not gonna lie, I still had a really good time at the press conference. Like I had never been to a press conference before. That is the only press conference I've ever been to, and like it was a positive experience. There was one thing that happened though that was embarrassing as hell, which, you know, story time within the story time, okay? Basically, the press conference started 30 minutes later than it was supposed to. And after the press conference, there was a meet and greet. But me and Khalil were not supposed to go to the meet and greet. We were not invited to the meet and greet. The meet and greet was for the organization's donors. So me and Khalil had to like go home for an hour and then come back when the panel started because the meet and greet was an hour long. So my mom knew that and she was gonna come back and get me. And she was like, what time should I come back? And I was like, I don't know, like maybe, I don't know. And she was like, give me an estimate. So I gave her an estimate, but for whatever reason, the press conference ended up starting 30 minutes later. So my mom was outside trying to find me, figure out where the hell I went. And I didn't realize that because, you know, I was in the moment. I wasn't on my phone. I took a few pictures that you guys will see in the video, but like I wasn't really on my phone. I was just trying to figure out like what was going on in the press conference because it's a press conference. Meanwhile, my mom was like blowing up my phone, like texting me and stuff, and I didn't even feel the vibration because I was just so in the moment. When I finally do look at my phone, I go to reply to the text message, and what do you know? My mom is calling me. And the thing is, I had my phone on silent, but my mom has the emergency bypass. Like, she is the only person in my contacts who, like, the phone will ring for if my phone is on silent. So that happened in the middle of the press conference. Oh, I wanted to myself. That shit was so fucking embarrassing. Like, just seeing everyone turn around and be like, yeah, I was fucking mortified. But besides that, the press conference actually went really well. So back to the original story now. So like I said before, the meet and greet was after the press conference, but me and Khalil were not supposed to be there. Like, we were told, you're not invited to the meet and greet. So my mom picked me up, she took me to McDonald's, and then we went to my aunt's house because she lived closer to the venue than we did, and it didn't really make sense for us to go home and then come back. Like, by the time we would have gotten home, we would have had to turn right back around and go back to the venue. But yeah, my mom dropped me back off, and then I met back up with Khalil, my teacher, and my teacher's girlfriend. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, there's a huge gap in this story because I have really bad stoner brain. I don't remember what happened at the panel. Like, I remember being there, I remember being very excited to be there, I remember being in the moment, but like, I cannot tell you one thing that was said at the panel. I don't remember shit. I just remember me and Khalil being so fucking hyped and being like, yeah, what's happening? Oh my god, he's right there, oh my god. Because me and Khalil were both fans of this person and like their projects. But what I do remember was after the panel was over, my mom had texted me and was like, I'm outside, come to the side of the building. And I remember being so confused because I was like, babes, like there's 4 sides of the building. Like, which side? This right here. This is why I believe everything happens for a reason, okay? Because if she had specified which side she was on, this next thing wouldn't have happened. I go out the wrong side and I see Mark Maron and this SNL star taking pictures with fans. And I was like, and then I run up to the SNL star. I wait in line because he's talking to someone and like taking pictures with like some guy. But then afterwards, it was my time to shine because one thing about us, like in Connecticut, we don't get too many celebrities who come here. So like, it's kind of weird seeing someone who I watch on TV all the time. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like a little starstruck, but like I ended up, you know, being able to actually have a conversation with the guy. It wasn't long, but I had a conversation with him. So I walk up to him and I'm like, hey, I love you on SNL and I love you on, insert the name of his other project here. We're not revealing that yet, but like I'll reveal it later. And he was like, thanks. And I was like, can I get a picture with you? And he was like, yeah, sure. And we took 2 pictures together. And then I was like, thanks. And I just ran away like a maniac because I couldn't believe it happened. And I remember like Khalil had left at that point. So I'm like, Khalil, come back. And it was too late. But yeah, I ran away like a maniac. I ran to the other side of the venue just based off of adrenaline until I find my mom's car on the other side of the venue. So I opened the door to the passenger side and my mom said I just looked so like shook, like something had happened. So she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I just met, insert the name of SNL Star here. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, you didn't tell me what side to come out on. So I went out on the other side and he was on the other side taking pictures with fans. Also, I feel the need to put this in there. By the time I was done taking a picture with this SNL star, Mark Maron had dipped, so that's why I didn't get a picture with him. And Tig Notaro, I just didn't see her. My mom is like, oh, did you get a picture? And I'm like, yeah, I got a picture. I got 2 pictures. That's the end of the story, basically. Now, I'm not gonna leave you guys hanging, okay? I am gonna tell you who the SNL star is. So, drum roll, please. It is none other than Fred Armisen. Fred frickin' Armisen. And the other project that I referred to earlier was Portlandia, because Portlandia is my shit. But yeah, the SNL star that I met was Fred Armisen. He was on SNL when I first started watching SNL. I would say I started watching SNL in like 2009, 2010, like somewhere around there. And he was a part of like that core cast I grew to know and love. Like I'm talking, it was him, it was Andy Samberg, it was Jason Sudeikis, Bobby Moynihan, Kenan Thompson, Bill Hader, Seth Meyers, Kristen Wiig. Like they were on the show when I started watching SNL, so like that cast will forever hold like a special place in my heart. That does it for me, okay? That is the end of the story. Make sure you go follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. You already know the deal. I feel like I say this every fucking video, but my Twitter got hacked earlier this year, so go follow me on Twitter. And then I'm restarting my Instagram feed, so go follow me on Instagram. But I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.